rare reversal tonight. President Donald Trump lashing out on Twitter about changing his mind on next year's location for the G7 summit. Trump reiterated he canceled his meeting at his Florida resort and no profits will be taken. The White House had been defending the president's decision to host the G7 summit at Trump National Doral, Miami. And a lot of you are talking about President Trump nixing his plan. Natisha Lance is following the conversation on our Facebook page. Natisha?
Well, Ron, the president changed course just last night. This is just 2 days after the initial announcement. He says he will now look for a new location immediately. So in a series of late night tweets, the president blamed the change on, quote, crazed and irrational hostility from Democrats and the media.
It's simply not okay for any federal official, the president included, to use their own business for government activity and to enrich themselves by it.
Although President Trump insisted he would not profit from using Trump National Doral as the host site, it has not stopped accusations of emolument law violations, like this one from a user on our Facebook page. This is from Pam Hall. So we did some of our own digging about the emolument clause and what it means. So the emolument clause comes from our Constitution. It states no U.S. government official can receive gifts, offices, titles, or emoluments, otherwise known as compensation for labor services or from foreign powers. Now, this came up back in 2009. Some of you might remember with President Barack Obama. Congress had to give President Obama permission to accept the Nobel Peace Prize, which some people viewed as an emolument. Now, 3 lawsuits have been filed against President Trump for alleged violations. His attorneys say there was no violation in this instance, but the case previously dismissed by an appeals court back in July was revived just last week. Judges will now rehear the emoluments lawsuit filed against the president by Maryland and D.C. over his ownership of the Trump International Hotel, which is near the White House.